Hey everybody, welcome back to VLOGUARY. We're back with another memory keeping plan with me, and this is a travel week. So I decided to use this kit via Fiesta from Caress Press because we went to Mexico City during this weekend because our friends were getting married. So it was two of my husband's friends from grad school who have become my friends over time, and they got married in Mexico City because that is where the bride is originally from. Her parents still live there, and I think the rest of her family does too. The couple themselves are in LA, which is where my husband went to grad school, but I think they lived there for a little bit during the pandemic since there were, of course, travel restrictions between the two areas. This was, of course, the presidential election this week as well. If we hadn't gone to this wedding, probably would have used an election themed kit, but it's all for the best because I feel like if you've been around here for 3 seconds on this channel, you probably can anticipate that I am not excited about the results of this presidential election. I did everything within my individual power to prevent that from happening, but I am one person, so that's all I can do. So I'm going to mark Election Day, of course, and we'll talk a little bit about my feelings about that, and then we'll talk mostly about Mexico, because that was more what I wanted to focus on this week, was the fact that my husband's friends found each other all those years ago at UCLA, and they're happy, and we partied. And my husband works in city planning, went to school in city planning, if you don't know, and particularly his cohort was very concerned with justice, especially like environmental justice, undoing a lot of really horrible things that have honestly happened in city planning over time. Not going to get into all of that because personally I'm not an expert on it, but I know enough to know that there are some things we definitely need to work on in all of our fields. I work on what I can in the field of teaching English. There's definitely lots of conversations to be had about that, both trying to change the system while recognizing that we are still part of the system. That's basically both of my and my husband's career paths. So yeah, I'm kind of just rambling now, sorry, but obviously this is all top of mind this week because of the inauguration, and I think pretty much most of the people who follow me here are probably on the same track with me about being very disappointed in where we are at. If for some reason you're like happy this week, I'm not going to tell you to leave because honestly I think you need to listen and learn from people like me, but for some reason you're like super stoked this week, you might want to look inward, is all I'm going to say, and just think about why. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to tell you to leave, but also I'm not going to reach out to try and be close with you either. Hope you can respect that. Moving on. Just going to go ahead and put down the base. I always put in my dinner plans in the sidebar. So luckily there were some stickers in the kit that I could use for that. And then I didn't really have much else to mark other than I'm going to write the couple who got married, their names in the sidebar, because that's something I like to do during wedding weeks. And then I still had space for an extra full box and for some extra deco. So I'm just going to like decorate up that sidebar. But yeah, we really enjoyed Mexico City. I have never been to Mexico before, even though I've lived in California my entire life, but there's just never really been a reason to go. I have lots and lots of friends who are either from Mexico, like they were born in Mexico and then came over here, or their parents were born there and so they go there all the time. So I'm very familiar with like people who often travel to Mexico, but like I've just never gone. So this is my first time. The city is very beautiful, lots of old architecture. Wow, that's not architecture. That's not how you say that word, but you know what I mean. Architecture. Friday was basically just a travel day, so not much to talk about there. Saturday, we met up with our friends who are local to us, but they're friends with the groom who got married this weekend. And they were meeting up with a bunch of their college friends because that's how they're friends. So we hung out with their group for a bit, walked all around the city, all in like the commercial districts and all of that, and got really great tacos. And there was a cat at the taco shop, very cute. He was just like waiting in line, hoping somebody would throw him a bone. Whoops, excuse me. sorry, the post office needed me to sign for something. And you know how, like, whenever you're expecting a phone call or someone to come to the door, like, you're usually in the bathroom or in the middle of something? That's what just happened there. I love our mail woman. She's great. But I have been waiting for this all day. And so I'm just kind of like, of course it would happen while I'm in the middle of a voiceover. But yes, Taco Cat was very cute. Great tacos. And there were also a lot of cats at the wedding venue, which is a university that used to be an old convent. So architecture in Mexico City, I love. It's very like my style. And we went to like the main plaza, and they were setting up for a special event that was on Sunday. So we were trying to figure out what the event was, and it was just, from what we could ascertain on Sunday, it was like a concert. And like I couldn't really figure out why, but it was nice. I'm putting in some travel related quotes, by the way. These are from the Prairie Planner. These are in gold foil. So on the sidebar it says life is an adventure, and on Saturday it says and so the adventure begins. I just thought those were cute for both travel but also for the idea of commencing a marriage. And then I'm also bringing in these flight path overlays, also from the Prairie Planner, and those are going on the rest of the dates. I also put in travel is my therapy on Tuesday, which, like, I don't know how much I love that sentiment, just because, like, if you need therapy, like, you really should go to actual therapy. But there were a lot of things going on this week that were quite stressful. And so putting that there kind of made sense, at least for this week. But yes, the wedding was enormous, big Mexican wedding. Like I said, it was at a university that is an old convent, so kind of old Spanish architecture. And it was really nice to see my husband's grad school friends again. They were all very like close and hung out together a lot back in 2016 to 2018, especially because of things going on in the country at that time. And I told the groom, I forget if I told the bride this as well, but I remember one phone call when my husband and I were long distance, because we were long distance while he was in grad school, and he was telling me about like some party that they had all had, and I was like, you know, like some of the people in your program are like gonna end up together, right? And he's like, no, like he was totally Mark Hamill, if you know that whole situation with Star Wars. You can look it up, but he was like, no, that's not gonna happen. I'm like, Nathan, you're telling me like all you guys hang out together like all the time, like there's gonna be at least like one couple, and there's been at least like 2 or 3, and this couple that got married this week was one of them. So I told them that. I was like, thank you for proving me right. Love that for me. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to Saturday, but for now we're going to jump into the day by day. So on Monday, I started the day by playing with the cats before I went to work. So I'm going to mark that with a Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then my left ear was ringing this day. This happened to me like last winter as well. I think it might be like an allergic reaction. Not entirely sure. It hasn't happened since this day, which is nice, but it was going on this day. And then I went and taught all my classes, or 2 of my classes, I should say. So all of those stickers at the top of Monday were from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Then it was the day before the election, so we have permanent vote by mail in California, so you can still like go to a vote center and all of that and drop off your ballot, but you get mailed a ballot if you are registered to vote in advance. So I had finished my ballot over the weekend, and I also work at multiple colleges, and most colleges here are like Dropbox, at least, if not like a vote center. So we had a Dropbox at the campus I was at, so I dropped off my ballot. I'm gonna mark that with another Molly. And then I was grading, and I'm pretty sure I was grading stuff on the computer, but I just decided to use these Quarks and Corgs Co. pencils this week. If you don't know Quarks and Corgs Co., they draw all of the art, not all of it, but like a lot of the doodles that they sell. So I love that. I love supporting shops that do that instead of like always having to have the same clip art from multiple character shops, which is totally fine. But I do prefer having like more unique stickers. So that's awesome. And then I was just watching a lot of stand-up comedy on Netflix because I was anxious, honestly. I was just trying to like deal with what was going to happen the next day, which at that point I was more hopeful, but you know, I was just trying to like brace myself. And then I took a Claritin this night. I don't normally take allergy medication, but I was like, my ear is ringing. I'm going to try this and see if it worked. And I can't remember if it worked or not. Tuesday was election day, so I had a sticker from Once More with Love. I did have to take my husband to the doctor this day. I'm not going to get into why. That's his personal information to share as he sees fit. But I did have to cancel class in order to take him to the doctor this day. It was kind of last minute, but you have to do what you have to do. Then I did some more grading, so I have another Corks and Corks Co. pencil. The icons at the top of the day are from the kit, if you can tell. It kind of just worked out that they color blocked with the day. And then I did go to my evening class because we were done at the hospital at that point. So that's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then I was just really anxious because results were starting to come in. Part of being in California is like we're up later compared to like the East Coast. So I feel like you go to bed on election night and like you're like, maybe it'll change in the morning, but really you're like, I think that's going to be the result. And unfortunately, that was the result. Unfortunately, from my perspective and from what I think is most honestly rational people's perspective, I'll just say it. So I marked that with a Linner Designs elephant that's in the flames and saying everything's fine. My tried and true election night tradition is to watch the election related episodes of Parks and Recreation. So that's what I did that night. That's what the television from the kit is for. Ended up staying up until like at least midnight on election night, which was pretty standard for my Tuesday, Thursdays anyway, because I worked late. But yeah, I was awake at 5 on Wednesday for no reason, probably anxiety. Went and taught my classes somehow with the election results on my mind, and I got myself a Happy Meal this day. So the first 2 stickers on Wednesday were from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. The Happy Meal was from Bella Planella. I did some grading, and then I started packing for Mexico. So that sticker's from Cinderella Paper. And then I was watching John Mulaney's Everybody's in LA because I was kind of just like continuing on my comedy streak. And also I just kind of found it funny as someone who, I never lived in LA, but my husband did, and I used to visit a lot. So it's funny. And at the same time, like, I know people from outside LA who like just live there for show business and stuff don't always have the same take that people who are LA natives would have, you know what I mean? So anyway, on Thursday, my husband worked from home, so those glasses are from Sugar Pop Fizz. I went and taught my classes. That's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then I did my lesson planning this day because we were going to be traveling the next day. So I just used an icon from the kit. I used another icon from the kit to mark going to the post office because I had to pick up Clover's inhaler because we buy it from a pharmacy in Canada and I have to sign for it. So when I'm not home, which I often was not this last semester because I had a lot of classes, I have to go pick it up at our post office. My husband was a guest speaker at my last class of the night because we were talking about cover letters, and I feel like he's really good at the cover letter writing and interviewing stage of job applications, which is something that I'm not always good at. So I had him come talk to my students about that. And then I watched John Mulaney's Kid Gorgeous this night. So all of the stuff at the bottom of Thursday was just icons from the kit, which I really enjoyed having. Friday was my payday, so I marked that with stickers from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. and a script from Cinderella Paper. And then we flew from Sacramento to San Francisco, which took like 3 seconds, and then from San Francisco to Mexico City. So I love SFO now. I don't think I'd really flown in or out of it until this day, which is funny because when I was a baby, my parents lived like right by the airport, but I don't remember that. So anyway, that plane is from the kit. I did some grading on my iPad. I brought my iPad with me on this trip. That's one of the main reasons I bought an iPad this semester, was that there were so many weddings and travel and everything. And then I used a Kindle sticker from Carly Plans to mark reading parts of Jane Austen's Emma, because I don't have a Kindle, but I was reading it through the Books app on the iPad. And then I was also listening to the Sticky Bun Boys podcast, which is a Great British Baking Show related podcast. So I had a little, I think that's Gallifrey, rest in peace, from Oh Hello Co., a really old sticker, and then a podcast icon from Planet Hannah in gold foil. And then we finally arrived in Mexico City. We split an Uber with our friends from Sacramento because they were on the same flight with us, so that was nice. It felt like safer to be in a group. And that city sticker is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. So we stayed at a Hampton Inn, but it was in a very old building, so it was the most beautiful Hampton Inn of all time. So that was very interesting. I'm like, we're in a Hampton Inn, but it's cute. So nice place to stay. And then we just like went to bed. I think we ate at the hotel restaurant, which was nothing to write home about. I only got 5 hours of sleep that night. I was just like, Mexico City is like 2 hours ahead of California time, so I was a little bit thrown off, so I marked that with an Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Molly. I marked grading some papers in the morning with an icon from the kit because I did need to grade a few papers each day just to keep on track with work. And then I marked our taco adventure with this paw print icon from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. and a taco sticker from Wonton and a Million, because I wanted to remember both the tacos as well as Taco Cat, who was standing in line hoping someone would order him a taco. He was so sweet. And then I marked visiting the Plaza de la Constitucion. Sorry, I know Spanish, but my accent is terrible, so I apologize in advance. But I used a TARDIS sticker, TARDIS the cat from Oh Hello Co, like with a camera, because I thought it would be a cute way to mark like taking photos there. Then I marked the wedding with a bouquet from Carly Plans and a They Said I Do script from Scribble Prints Co. I marked the MERP reunion, so the Masters of Urban and Regional Planning reunion. It was so nice to see so many people. So many people have been married since the last time we saw them. One couple brought their daughter, who's like a year and a half old, I think, and she's so cute. And they're just like the cutest parents. Like they were like leaving for the night because this wedding went till 4 a.m. We did not stay till 4 a.m. We stayed till like midnight. The couple in question really know how to party. I do not know how to party that much, but we had a great time. Apparently Pikachu showed up later in the evening, like someone in a Pikachu costume. So we missed that, but we had a great time. But anyway, the couple who had their daughter there, they were like walking away with their stroller at one point. I'm like, oh my God, they're just so cute. Anyway, I marked that with a cocktail sticker from Cinderella paper. I marked dinner with another sticker from Cinderella paper. It was very like what we would call like family style. Like they just put out a bunch of dishes and you kind of just picked what you wanted. I think the things I remember the most was there was a truffle fideo, and then there were flautas, and then there were a bunch of other things as well, but those are the two things I remember the most. And then I marked that we danced the night away with a Once More with Love sticker, an icon from the kit that's a music note, and a dancing sticker. So lots of fun. Like I said, I saw at least 3 cats like running around before the ceremony, after the ceremony. It was a great time to talk and chat and catch up with everybody who we haven't seen in a while because they either still live in LA, so we don't live there anymore, or they've moved elsewhere, and so now we really don't see them. That's a Polaroid that one of our friends took at the post-wedding brunch the next day. So I'm also going to go ahead and put in my I voted sticker. I'm sorry that Sunday is not on the screen right now, but let's just go quickly through what happened that day. So I finally got a full night's sleep, so I marked that with the Beneva Creations girl. I graded some more papers, and then we decided to walk around the Centro Histórico just to see some sights. So like we walked by Palace of Fine Arts, we walked through a cathedral, we walked through the area near the cathedral that used to be like an Aztec temple. So there's ruins of that. So that was really neat to see. I just marked all of that with a sticker from Oh Hello Co. And then we went to the post-wedding brunch, which was at the bride's parents' house. And I swear, this post-wedding brunch was like almost as big as a regular wedding. Except some people were in their pajamas. So they had a mariachi band that showed up at one point, so I wrote that in. I marked all of that with a taco sticker from Linner Designs because we did have tacos. I think I had tacos like 3 different days this week. The best ones were on Saturday though, I think so. And then I was just really tired and anxious. I can't really remember why I was anxious. I think I was just worried about going back to work the next week. I'm not really sure what was going on with that, but I just needed sleep. But that is how the week turned out. Thanks so much for listening to me talk about how this week went. It was a really quick trip. I do wish we could have stayed longer, but we needed to get back to our jobs and everything the next week. So I will talk to you next time. Bye.